soil makers. This is Chris, and I'm standing, you guessed it, with another shovel. Just amazing. Today this video is going to be a little different than some of the other videos we do. We're getting ready to plant some grapes, a small little vineyard, and I really need your help. So I've got all the holes dug, and got the posts and stuff set. Grapes will be coming in the next couple days from a local source, which I'm finding out is a lot better to do than one of these big box places to buy them from. We'll get down that in a little bit. But what I've been doing lately is I've been doing a lot of research. I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube. I've been reading lots of articles that are out there. And a lot of the articles I'm seeing are for what people's doing, but it doesn't really feel like what they're doing is long-term sustainability. Because when I put the grapes in, I'm all fine about caring for them as far as taking the weeds out, making sure they have water and all those types of things. And I'm fine with throwing manure and stuff like that over the top. But I'm really looking for what do I need to put down in the soil that's going to allow these grapes to grow and have a lot of the nutrients that they need besides what's already in the earth. And all the newer stuff talks about throwing 10-10-10 and throwing some bone meal, some blood plasma and all those types of things on there. And then I started looking back, and I started looking at articles from the 1930s. In the 1930s, this gentleman said, if you want your grapes to grow prolifically for a long time with minimal outside noise as far as interaction with them, he said bury bones with them. So then I started doing more research, and then I started getting bone meal and all these other things that come up. Then I finally found an article in the Ozarks area. It was written by an arborist at that time. They specifically said that if you want to go ahead and have good grapes for a long term, he said that you'd go ahead and put in bones, and he said you'd also put in some a pair of shoes with that. And I really got thinking, kind of crazy, but this was like the person who was in charge over the whole Ozark area talking about grapes and stuff that they were doing. So I guess what I'm here to ask is, I'm here to ask you, those of you that are growing grapes or have some good innate knowledge of grapes, what are some of the minerals that they can put? Because I can go ahead and put bones down in the ground right now, or I can go ahead and put parts of animals down in the ground, skulls and stuff like that we've been butchering, and I can take those and put them down in the ground, because then I have basically a leather or a untanned leather source and the skull down in there, along with a little bit of other matter that's just going to break down. So I guess what I'm asking is, what is the items that you would put in the ground for your plants, for grapevines? And second is, I went to several big box places and bought grapes years ago, and most of them died. And I'll be honest, because I didn't want to deal with the hassle of getting them back as far as the cost, I just let it go, and I threw away about $70-80. Not normally typical for me, but I could tell that dealing with this company was going to be more of a pain in the butt. Even though they seemed up front like they were going to be real nice, when I started inquiring about it, it really felt like it was going to be more kind of like a surgery. So what I decided to do this time was go with a local gentleman. His name's Pence, and I've been dealing with him for blueberries, and I bought my grapes from him 2 years ago, my muscadines, and they're just doing great. He's right here, within 20-30 miles from where we're at. I sit next to him sometime at the farmer's market, and his prices are better than any of the big box places, and his guarantee, it's not as good, but he also, he at least guarantees they're going to be alive and they're going to actually grow, which is better than what I got from the big box places. So I'll put his information down in the bottom. I'm not getting any money from him or anything like that. I just think that he's a good gentleman, and he offers true quality knowledge. He's grown up with his whole life. His dad started this business. There's 4 of them now that are actually in the business, and they do blackberries, vining plants, trees, shrubs, I think, all kinds of things. But I don't know their whole business, but if you're interested in it, a good place, honest place, that when you call up, you're going to talk to the owner of the company who's going to give you knowledge on the phone, that's what you need. So we're going to go with 5 different varieties. We've got 2 muscadines here that we're actually working on propagating right now, and then we've got 3 others that we're going to buy from him. There's a Mars variety, a Vanessa variety, and then there's one other one. Oh, I'm sorry, there it is. It's a Reliance. So those are all a seedless grape. and that's what we're going to be planting. So they're a little bit different spacing pattern than what the muscadine is. But before we get into any of that, I just really wanted to ask if any of you out there have done anything interesting with your grapes to make it so they're long-term sustainable for nutrients deep in the soil. I'm not talking about manures and other stuff like that I'm going to throw on each year. I'm talking about what do I need to put in the ground now before I have to interrupt their root system later, because they dig deep and they dig wide. So thanks for watching. Please give us any tips and information you have. We'd love it. And if you got other friends out there that have this stuff, if you'd share it with them and ask them to help us, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks. Shalom.